Hi guys, this is my 173 live stream challenge after my 365 live stream challenges, and this is November. We keep going with my case studies live stream challenges where I showcase business owners that successfully launched their software products inside of their businesses. But today is a bit special day. I'm not going to show the case where existing business owners launched some product within their business, but more like startupper story. And I'm not that big fan of startup, like VC fund startup story, because I believe that's much harder way to succeed with software products compared to become successful with something more simple business model and then turn to software products. If you watched my yesterday's live stream, I recommended my YouTube video named How to Generate and Validate Your Software Idea. There I show you 3 steps I usually encourage our clients to take in order to become more successful and just have like not just 5% success rate, but to get into that bucket of software founders that are like 50%, have a 50% success rate. And this is exactly what I explained in that video. Anyway, but because I'm staying in Airbnb right now with my family, I decided to tell you a quick story about Airbnb. I mentioned that story in one of my previous blog posts, so I know I made the research and I know these guys. I know these guys from all these news and been following them, their story from 2008. So I decided to cover them. But that's not my usual case. Most of the next cases this month I will be covering from existing business owners getting into software technology products. Anyway, so you know Airbnb, I guess, right? That's like when you want to find some apartment for some period of time for rent, like basically daily rent service. And these guys started in 2008. An interesting story here, which is also something I really encourage all clients to start from. But they started with a startup idea. They've been like in New York for these conferences periods, like when conferences start, a lot of events there. So it's usually harder to find some apartment for 2-3 days. So they decided to rent out their own apartment. They put together a quick prototype, which will allow you to find their listing there, and started to get couple first to renting out their apartment for $80 per day, but they realized they need extra functions inside that software and they need money for that, and so they tried to get some professional funds. It was not easy. They didn't have proper track record. So what they did, actually, they started and saw selling like the online product, Obama's OS cereal boxes. It was like for at that time when presidential campaign was running in the US, and they had this one, and I guess they had the other version, like 2 boxes of these, which they've been selling for quite some bucks. And they came up with this product idea. They packed it. They started selling. They sold at about $30,000, which helped them keep the operations within Airbnb going. And at that time they also they got the CTO, like the programmer guy, joined their team as a 3rd co-founder. So that helped them a lot to grow and add some new features. And the rest was just a story. And after that they've been able to close the funding round. But the story here is that they started as a startup. They didn't have money, so they turned to other things, to other sources. They came up with other business idea. Let's start selling cereals online, and we'll pack it in some specific design way, so it will work for the time of presidential campaign running in the US. So that's the story, moral of the story. And I already showed you, like yesterday, from this paragraph from Russell Brunson: don't take VC money, bootstrap it. And that's how they started, because they could not raise the money. And that's what I'm usually saying, that okay, you can take maybe you can pull some seed money, some small money at first, but even that's pretty rare. It's really hard to get VC funds on board unless you have some traction with your idea already, you have some MVP proof of concept, you have some users there, ideally paying users, or you have some track record, so you can start new idea from scratch without any performance done on that idea yet, but you need to have some previous track record, some exits, some businesses behind you, so you need to have some success record with your idea, or just as a business owner, the entrepreneur. In that case, your chances for a VC would rise dramatically, but without that, it's almost impossible. I'm not saying impossible, but almost impossible to get VC money. That's why I'm usually suggesting just go and sell some services, teach people something, do some online courses, do some brick and mortar, take some franchise, open some franchise, brick and mortar business, cafe, restaurant, whatever. That will be much easier than take VC money for your software startup. So as Russell Brunson is saying, sell something, then reinvest back into advertising. That's how the game is played, and that's exactly what Airbnb guys did to start to kick off, to bootstrap it all. And then when they started having more success, of course, people started to get interested in the startup and started believing, okay, these guys can do something, and at that point only they got the money. Okay, so this is the Airbnb story, like just the beginnings. Now how it looks, how it works, tomorrow I will cover one of our own agency case studies, so stay tuned. Comment below if you have any other questions. Thank you for watching, see you tomorrow, and remember,